Today, we're jumping into the incredible story of a 15th century spiritual figure from India named Lord Chaitanya. And the book we're using as our guide, Lord Chaitanya and His Teachings, kicks things off with a really fascinating question. What if God came to Earth, not to be worshipped, but to teach us how to worship?
Right off the bat, the source text makes this huge claim. It says these teachings hold the essence of all Vedic knowledge, stuff you just can't find anywhere else. Whoa, that definitely sets the stage for something big, right? So you have to ask, what was going on in the world at that time that, according to this book, called for such a massive spiritual intervention?
Okay, so to really get why Lord Chaitanya appeared, we've got to rewind the clock. We're talking late 1400s India. The book paints a picture of a time that was, well, a real mess. There was a ton of social and religious turmoil, and sincere devotees were basically at their wits' end, feeling like a divine appearance was desperately needed.
And the picture it paints is pretty stark. You've got political and religious chaos, you've got these widespread animal sacrifices, a general vibe of people just turning their backs on spirituality. And it's right in the middle of all this chaos, the book says that the Supreme Lord hears the prayers of the devotees and decides to show up. But, and this is the key, he didn't appear in the way anyone was expecting.
And this is where we get to the absolute heart of it, the big, captivating idea of this whole story. God decides to come down to Earth. Yeah, but he does it in disguise. He doesn't show up as the all-powerful, supreme being. He comes as something totally different.
This little comparison here just nails the difference. See, 5,000 years before, Lord Krishna showed up as God, plain and simple, and his message was direct, surrender to me. But Lord Chaitanya, who the text says is the exact same person, comes in the role of a devotee. He's there to show everyone, by his own actions, how to be a devotee. Which brings us to the million-dollar question. Why the disguise? Well, the book lets us in on a secret, an internal reason. Lord Krishna wanted to experience for himself the incredible, profound love that his greatest devotee, Srimati Radharani, felt for him. He wanted to feel it from her perspective. And really, the only way to do that was to basically become her. So, this concept is absolutely central to the whole thing. Lord Chaitanya is described as being Lord Krishna on the inside, but on the outside he has the emotions and even the molten gold complexion of Radharani. Think about that. He didn't come to be worshipped, he came to show the world what the highest form of worship looks like. So, how'd he do it?
All right, so Lord Chaitanya's whole mission was to lead by example. This wasn't just about teaching some abstract philosophy. No, he kicked off a full-blown mass movement, a revolution, really. And it was all based on one simple, accessible practice that he felt was the perfect medicine for the problems of that era.
He called it Sankirtan. And the idea? It was simple, but at the time, it was totally radical. The plan was to take spirituality out of the quiet temples and bring it right into the streets. We're talking about public, group chanting of the holy names. This wasn't some quiet, private meditation. Oh no. This was loud, it was joyful, and everyone was invited. So who was this for? Was it just for the already pious? Not a chance. It was for everyone. And to prove it, the book tells this amazing story about two brothers, Jagai and Madhai. These guys were, to put it mildly, the worst of the worst. They were infamous criminals, described as just cruel, drunk thugs. You could say they were the ultimate test case for how powerful this movement really was. Now, Lord Chaitanya's right-hand man, Lord Nityananda, completely embodied this everyone is welcome spirit. He was the one who insisted on going to talk to these two brothers. He truly believed that even the worst of the sinners had a right to chant the holy names and be transformed. And, as you can probably guess, this conviction led to a pretty dramatic showdown. So Lord Nityananda goes up to them with this message of pure mercy. And how do they react? With violence. One of the brothers, Madhai, grabs a piece of a broken clay pot and just smashes it against Nityananda's head, hard enough to draw blood. I mean, talk about a crisis moment. This was the ultimate test of that compassion. But what happened next is just astounding. Even though he's bleeding, Lord Nityananda keeps pleading for them. He's asking for mercy for the very guys who attacked him. And seeing this unbelievable level of compassion, it completely shattered them. The book says their hearts just melted. The two brothers fell at their feet, surrendered, and were totally transformed into devotees. What a way to prove the power of the movement, right? Now, Lord Chaitanya was smart. He knew he wasn't going to be on Earth forever. So he laid out a very clear plan to make sure his teachings would not only survive, but thrive for generations to come.
And what's amazing is he only personally wrote down 8 verses. Just 8. They're called the Sikshashtakam. And in those 8 short stanzas, it said, is the entire essence of his philosophy of divine love. For everything else, he empowered his most trusted followers to carry the torch.
He gave his main disciples, the Goswamis, a 3-part mission. Step 1, go to the holy land of Vrindavan. Step 2, dig up and restore all the lost sacred places from Lord Krishna's life. And step 3, maybe the most important, write books. Lots of them. Create a whole library that would systematically break down the science of devotion for everyone.
And that really brings us full circle to our final thought. The whole story of Lord Chaitanya, as we've heard it from this text, really hinges on this one powerful idea. He didn't come as a king demanding obedience. He came as a devotee, showing the way forward with his own perfect actions. And it leaves us with a pretty deep question to ponder. Is the most powerful way to teach, not by ordering people around, but by setting a perfect example?